May pips be upon you. Hey, I'm looking at GU. I'm looking at the pound dollar, and let's just see what we got cooking here. Now, what do I like? What do I see? Got a little downtrend going on. This is a long time downtrend since 2007, right? All right. Don't get caught up in the trend line, all right? Because the trend line is like a secondary kind of confirmation that I use, but not a primary, for entries and exits. But I like seeing them there, right? So you see how it's been respected here, here, and it stayed under it until we got here in December of last year, and then we broke above it, right? So now we want to see, is this, should we be going long? Or we just going to start turning bullish here? Right here, the momentum changed. All right, but did the trend change? Let's take a closer look at that. All right. By the way, I just drew this here because I love seeing this formation. When you see a drop from a long-term downtrend, I like seeing these higher, lower highs established with that lower with the low here, and then coming down to be almost an equal low, and these humps here, I like to see that it's under that, and then we get this rise. All right, we get a surge above this high to sweep all of these doggone stop losses, and then come down below these lows, this low, this low. I want to see these lows and that low violated, because now we're talking about breaking structure. That's what this represents. This is the last, here is the last low, lower low before this high. This high breaks structure. This high breaks these highs. All right. So it becomes a main line. And because that breaks it, and we got to go back to its origin here. And then I draw a line. And when this low is broken, I want to see a retest of that low. And that's exactly what happened here. This was an excellent location for a short. You understand? That's why I loved seeing this formation. I see it all the time, and I like to play it all the time. But that's a whole another. I digress. All right. Now, also, let's go to the weekly. Okay. Now on the weekly, what do we got? I drew out this line here because, let me get rid of that. I drew out this line here because this here is a point, a zone of supply, a strong supply, because it hasn't been tested yet. All right. So when I see price come back up here and meet this line right around 1.4, 1,000, 1.41, I'd like to see a sharp reaction. All right. This is on the weekly, so it's going to be pretty strong. Okay. Price has gone away from it. See how price dropped away from this point. That's a strong zone. Dangled around down here. All right, we broke the trend line on the way up, and it's on its way to this zone. So we're going to see what happens when price reaches this little zone up here. I'm going to be watching it closely. Now, what me and my students are going to look for a valid entry for short. All right. But we got to see, we got to get confirmations. Right now, there's no reason to look for any shorts because this is a bullish market, right? So, so this is a point to watch. Also, make note, we are in a very lovely impulse, all right? And we've been doing nothing but impulsing, correcting, impulse to the top, all the way up. So this is a great area to look for a pullback and take advantage of that pullback, right? Let's go to the daily. First thing I want to do is look at that weekly supply area that I brought your notice to. Inside of this weekly supply zone is a daily supply zone. Why what I need to point that out is because that makes it really strong when it's already embedded in another zone from a higher time frame. All right. When price comes meets that line, I'm expecting a very bearish reaction. Okay. And that line would be right around, let's see, right around 42.85, 42.85. Let's call it 42. Yeah, call it 42.85, 142.85. Okay. And I'm going to keep that here. All right. We have a daily embedded in a weekly supply zone. Very strong stuff. Also, I want to make note that the price has been doing its thing on the way up with this impulse. It's been uh, uh, pushing hard and then correcting, pushing hard and correcting, pushing hard. We are breaking and retesting all the way up, and I'm marking it as it goes up. The thing is, you got to be able to take advantage of these things. How do you take advantage of these break and retests during an uptrend, right? Even if it's a short-term uptrend, how do you take advantage of it? You got to have your fibs. You got to have the Fibonacci's. All right. When you see, like I keep pointing out, when you see an impulse, a correction, and an impulse, you want to make sure you can measure how far back that impulse is, because that's what we need here, measurement, to see how far back it's going to go. And the way you measure it is you go to the bottom of the impulse, the start of it, the start of that movement to the top of it. And you measure how far back this pullback should come. It should come at least to the 380 to 38, to the 38 fib, at least. All right, to even count as a retracement. All right, that's what I look for most. And if there's structure lined up to it, then that's going to be a highly there's a high probability that it's going to pull back to that area. All right. Now we got a wick up here and everything. So I'm thinking, we're probably going to stop here at the 38. All right, let me get rid of that. So you can see here from this to the top here. All right, the pullback comes here. So that's not, I wouldn't call this the beginning of the move. I would call this the beginning of the move. Matter of fact, let's go to the 4-hour. All right. You can see it very clearly here, very clearly. All right. Starting at the bottom of the move and up to the top of it here, you can see it pulls right back to the 38. It's like magic. Let's move up. Starting the new impulse here and taking this one to the top here. All right. And where does it pull back to? To the 618. Why? Because there's structure here near or aligned with the doggone golden ratio. All right. So this is going to be a target. This is going to be this is my favorite target because that's a lovely deep pullback, and that's where you really want it. All right. When I start looking at 38s, it's because there's either structure there or because the bullishness is really strong. And when the bullishness is really strong, the pullback can be kind of weak. It won't be as deep because it still has all that up energy. You understand what I'm talking about? All right. And if we examine where this one might be as it's pulling back, ooh, come on, man. Come on, man. All right. We're at the top there, and we're going to go to the beginning of this move. Now, where is the beginning of this move? I would say right here. All right. Is that where I would put it? Let's take a good look at this on a bigger time frame. You got it. It's very important where you place your fibs. Yeah, I'm all messed up on that one. All right, so we got this one, got this one. Let me see. All right, this one is funky. Funky measurements. All right. Even if we use this one, all right. I like the last place of structure, and that would be here. All right. This would be here, and that's lined up with the 618. So can I expect it to go past this 38, which is already touched, which is already tested? Can it come back further? Yeah, it could, because it pulled back here already. That's done. All right. This one is a new pullback, and this is going to be the continuation. I bet dollars to donuts is coming back here. All right. And from here, that's where I would love to take a long. Boom, boom. This is where I think we're going to end up anyway. This is where I think we're going to end up. And then from here, oh man, from here, I'm thinking we're going downtown. Now, where downtown, we'll discuss in another video. But I think it's going to be here. At the very least, because of all the support here. All right. I'm thinking that's where it's coming. All right. Anyway, let's get some pips going, and I'll see you in the chat.